Now we are.
Okay, great.
Oh, this is a
Thank
great
you.
book.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Jnana Yoga. Jnana, this is my favorite. This is what I was raised in. Seriously. The study of the scriptures. This is the theologian. This is the one that loves to study the scriptures and understand them. Jnana Yoga. The devotee of God follows the promptings of the heart. Jnana uses the power of the mind to discriminate between the real and the unreal, the permanent and the transitory. And this is accomplished usually through the study of scriptures, satsanga, that's what we're doing now, through study groups. So seminary is Jnana Yoga, right? Seminary is Jnana Yoga. And it's my favorite. But not to be confused, by the way, with intellect. Because we can't really reach that realization through our intellect. It's really through the heart space,
Incorporating
the
the
lotus of
knowledge.
the heart, and divine grace. The grace and the grace of the guru, by the way. Grace of the guru, the teacher. But you still have to do your work. You can't be Thomas about it. I have a guru, so I'm all set. You still have to do the work. It's like what we say in recovery. You can't do this through osmosis. You can't just go to the meeting and then just think that, oh, that's it. I went to my meeting. Well, how much of it did you participate in? And how much of your recovery you're participating in? It's like going to the gym. I have a gym membership, but I walk around and I talk to people. but I don't lift a single weight. So it's self-effort plus divine grace.
That's all I do.
Karma yoga, the path of service. So many of us are so dedicated to service. I think that probably everybody here is in some type of service. Service to God and service to God through the blessed self, through others. So we're serving the blessed self in all as we serve. It's not like I'm serving you in a paternalistic, kind of like condescending way. Like, I'm a minister. I minister to people. You're ministering to yourself, really, what you're doing. You're reminding yourself. Doesn't Sheikh Shafayat always say that? I'm reminding myself and reminding us. I said this to Chris before we left. I was like, I was disappointed that, I wasn't sure if we were going to have a small turnout. And I was like, it's a lot of effort, And I was like, you know what? This is my favorite thing to talk about. And I need to be reminded of all of this. So the Gita says, this is right from the Gita scripture, whatever your action, food or worship, whatever the gift that you give to another, whatever you vow to the work of the Spirit, lay these also as offerings before me. So everything I do is as an offering to God, to Brahma. And the path of meditation. And hey, listen, Swamiji is great about saying this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like, kind of like he gives you recipes, like a pinch of japa, and a pinch of, just a pinch. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go, bananas over it. Meditate for 5 hours straight and, breathe and do, you don't have to. You can just do a little bit, even if it's just, and hey, whatever floats your boat, whatever turns you on, whatever is your style that you like. My meditation, my Raja comes through kirtan. My Raja comes through chanting. My Raja comes through my music. I can feel transformed through it. That's kind of like my Kriya Yoga, if you will. Because when I'm chanting and I'm singing, I have to do the breath. I don't know if I'm making excuses, but I'm not one to sit in meditation. I'm just not. I don't know if it's my anxiety. I don't know if my mind doesn't allow it. I don't know what it is. And maybe I'd become enlightened if I did it. I don't know. But I just want to put out to us that whatever it is that you're comfortable with, whatever fits for you is great. Do it. Did you hear what Swamiji said when we first started? He says this great thing, this great line. He says, even the tiniest step you take, the tiniest step that you take toward realization will never go in vain. So we don't have to, be like, beat ourselves up, is what I'm saying, for not doing enough. We don't think we're doing enough of something. Every little bit helps. So Raj is the royal path of meditation. As a king maintains control over the kingdom, we can maintain control over our own kingdom, the vast territory of the mind. In Raja Yoga, we use our mental powers to realize the Atman through the process of psychological control. Japa, repetition of the divine name, kirtan, concentration, kriya, kundalini, all come under this umbrella. So when you say to yourself, Yogananda talks a lot about kriya yoga, how come that's not in the Gita? It falls under the umbrella of Raja Yoga. When, through the practice of yoga, the mind ceases its restless movements and becomes still, the aspirant realizes the Atman. Stilling the mind. Be still and know that I am God. That's what Jesus said, right? Not easy. The monkey mind, the hamster wheel. This is one of my favorite scriptures. Vivekananda, written by Shankaracharya. He talks about the qualifications of a disciple. Vivek, it's the first one. Discriminating between the real and the unreal. What's real, what's not. And Vairagya, which is dispassion, detachment. So first I get that this isn't real. And then I get that I'm not attached to the outcome of it. Right? I'm not attached to the outcome of it. Whatever will be, will be. The ID card, the car, whatever it is. These are 6 qualities that are taken as one because they bring about mental control and discipline. So this is all called Shad Sampat. Sama, tranquility of mind. Dhamma, self-control. Uparati, self-withdrawal. Titiksha, endurance. Shraddha, intense faith. Samadhana, serenity. Sama, Dhamma, Uparati. Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, serenity. We strive for all of these things, right? And
Seems like something
mumuksha.
you would write a song about.
Huh?
It seems like something you would write a song about. Right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Mumukshatva, burning desire. The burning desire, not burning desire to use. Burning desire to become self-realized. The burning desire within you to become self-realized.
Yes.
Buddha spoke of this. Jesus spoke of this. Be in this world, not of this world. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And then he said, seek until you find, and when you find, you'll be disturbed, and then you'll be astonished. Mumukshatva.
Good times.
All right. So let's do a little kirtan.
Yes.
These are the peace chants of the Upanishads. And you can sing along because the words are there on the screen. And what it means is, may auspiciousness be unto all, may peace be unto all, may fullness be unto all, may prosperity be unto all. May all be happy, free from any disease or disabilities. May all look to the good of others. May no one suffer from sorrow. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality, from darkness to light. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve
Mamjotirgamaya Ritsyo Mamritangamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Mahrishi Dubhavale
So here's some of the resources that I've used for this PowerPoint, and I will post that for you.
Thank you.
Let me just next thing I want to do. If you email me, I will send you for sure. But what I want to do now is I want to hand out, pass around these Mysticism of the Gods and Goddesses cards. And then we can learn a little bit more about what it means, and it's actually, the information is on the back, and so you can read it out loud to us so that we can share your medicine. And take one, feel the energy of the deck, pass it around. Let's take it, and then after everyone's received, we'll share. So after you've seen it, and you say to yourself, wow, I didn't realize that there were, I thought I knew the gods, you know, and I say gods, and it's not like God with a little g necessarily, it's just aspects of the divine, it's aspects of Brahman, right? This is why there's a misunderstanding thinking that Hinduism is polytheistic. It isn't, it's monotheistic. Brahman, one God, that's it. But then in Ishvara, down here in manifest Brahman, yes, we have lots and lots and lots of gods, lots and lots of poses of God. You know, how we different poses, different pictures. So we know some of the main ones, Ram and Krishna and Ganesha and Shiva, Vishnu, but then some of these others you'd be like, wow, I did not know. Who these are. So you want to share, Chris? Who did you get?
Sure. I picked Matsya, the fish avatar.
Krishna.
Is that the first?
It says, "O Keshava, you became incarnate in the form of a fish to hold the Vedas like a vessel undeterred from its course in the waters of the deluge. Hail to you, Hari, Lord of the universe," from the Gita Govinda. And the blessings are protection against natural disasters, security for seafarers and travelers, and preserving ancient traditions and knowledge. It's the fish avatar. Is that the first avatar?
Yes. And the reason that when we talk about Vishnu as a sustainer has these avatars, right? God comes down on earth to give us an example. The first avatar was the fish. And then it gets, the avatars, increase. So the fish, and then
A lizard or something, right?
something else that is like kind of half reptile but walks on the earth, has lungs. Then after that a pig, and then after that it gets higher and higher. And the real reason behind that is that the fish is in the water and in the darkness. And all of this is our own spiritual evolution, our soul's evolution. So we start out in the dark, and then we get curious and we're seeking for realization. We're seeking for God. So we come out a little bit and we're looking around, and that's the reptile kind of thing, or turtle, I think it might be.
I think it is turtle.
And then after that, it's the pig, and we get all messy, and it gets messy for us, and we're rolling around in the dirt. It's the boar, actually, B-O-A-R. And then later on, it becomes, I think it's half man, half something else. It might be the one that I have here. Not a Singadeva, the half man, half lion avatar. And that's like, I'm still struggling with my humanness and my spiritualness and my human side and my spiritual side. I'm struggling when I lose my ID card and I get hit by it from behind and all of that. And then it gets, higher and higher until obviously Buddha is self-realization, which is kind of cool. Right. What did you get, Mary?
I got Varuna, which is, the meditation is, I bow down to Varuna, who lives in the ocean, is Lord over the aquatic creatures, the deity of all liquids. May he ever bring us auspiciousness. And the blessings with that is navigation of the seas, success in fishing, forgiveness for transgressions, and increase in love between man and woman.
Durga?
Garuda.
Oh, yay!
Oh my God!
We love
I
Garuda.
love Garuda.
You guys knew something.
You know that story.
Yeah, I do. O Garuda, son of Vinata, you fly through the skies carrying Sri Vishnu on your back, O king of the birds. I offer salutations to you, the eater of snakes. Blessings, devotion to God, protection from snakes, security while traveling, improved ability to serve God.
Awesome. I have to tell a story after Garuda.
I chose Lord Kapila, the knower of matter and spirit. I take refuge in Lord Kapila, the fully independent, powerful, and transcendental Lord. He is the master of the sum total of matter and the elements of time. He is identical to the universe, both because he's all-pervading and because is its cause. Blessings, scientific knowledge, power of discrimination, divine understanding and liberation, and knowledge and mastery of the material elements.
I had like this love at first sight experience because I was shuffling and you saw the card jumped out and I grabbed it. And I said, "Oh, I love her," but I hadn't even really focused because I hadn't put my glasses on. But now I do love her. She is Subhadra, bestower of devotion. And it says, "Glories to you, Subhadra, the bestower of bhakti. Be kind to me, O ruler of the universe. Bestow auspiciousness on us all. Removal of illusion, worldly power, and grace. Blessings of devotion to Krishna." And I did like a real quick Google thing. I think she's like Krishna's sister or something. Arjuna married Krishna's sister Subhadra. Yeah.
Oh, it's Arjuna's wife.
Yeah.
He married Krishna's sister?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it says Arjuna
I didn't
married
know
Krishna's
that.
sister's
Fun
sister.
fact.
Family.
Okay.
I did a real
Right.
quick Google on her because I feel like she's come to me before.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that Arjuna married Krishna's sister. Did you know that?
No.
That's very cool.
It's
I love it.
Very nice.
Cool.
She's-
I was
she's
waiting
hot.
for a female deity to be finally
Yeah.
acknowledged.
Now we know.
I chose Narada Muni, Sage of the Gods. Meditation, I offer salutations to Narada, the Sage of the Gods, the son of Brahma. He rejoices in playing the Veena, which accompanies his constant singing of God's names. Blessings, musical ability, knowledge of Vedic literature, mastery of bhakti or devotional yoga, attachment to the singing of God's names.
In fact, every time we do kirtan, Narada is here. Every time we do satsanga, Narada is here. Anytime we're doing any kind of study of the scriptures, Narada is here. Narada came to Vyasa to inspire, like Gabriel came to Muhammad with the Quran. Narada was the god that came as a result of being sent by Brahma, the creator. Awesome. Any other meaning? Or you read it already?
No, I read
Okay.
it.
I have one of the avatars, Nara Singha Deva, the half man, half lion avatar. I take refuge in Nara Singha, the man lion, for he is the ultimate shelter. Awesome. Protection. Great. The blessing, protection from evil forces. Ability to see God everywhere and in all things. Skillful sublimation of one's anger when it is not needed. Strength and courage to defy conventional authority for truth and justice. So before we go on to something else, and you can pass the cards, and you can take a picture of them.
And
Sure.
what was the deck?
Oh, the deck
Gods and
is Gods and Goddesses. What happened to the
It's over there.
top of it? Oh, here it is. Gods and Goddesses.
It's a beautiful deck.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
So I want to tell the Garuda story, because the Garuda story, Garuda,
I remember.
is awesome. It's an awesome, awesome story. And when I took my sannyasi initiation, Swamiji said, "Do you have any questions?" And I started to cry like a fool and said, "I know I'm going to fail at all of this." And then he told the Garuda story. So Durga Devi already had said that Garuda is the vehicle or the ride for Vishnu, right? So that's Vishnu's ride. All of the gods have a ride. All of them have a vehicle. Ganesha's is a mouse. Now, it's so like when you think about, there's mysticism behind that, right? It's about this giant elephant rides on a mouse. You know, think about that and what lesson that might say for us to kind of be gentle, go easy. Something that's so heavy isn't really that heavy. It can be carried with the divine grace of the vehicle of the mouse, right? So Vishnu's vehicle is Garuda, giant bird. So this beautiful bird. So this mother sparrow goes and lays her eggs. And she's, sitting on them, and like you're supposed to do. What she doesn't realize is that there's low tide, so here comes the ocean. And the ocean's coming in, the ocean's coming in, the ocean's coming in, and the ocean starts to cover the eggs. So she starts to freak out and beg the ocean to go back. And it doesn't. Just like us, when things happen and we're begging for it not to be true. Please go back, please. No, my eggs, my ID card, my car, right? She's begging the ocean, pleading with the ocean to go back. The ocean's not going back, life on life's terms. So, just like us, when we're obsessed and we're gonna fix it, our willpower, we're gonna fix it. she takes a blade of grass and she says, okay, I'm going to remove the ocean. So she takes a blade of grass and she dunks it into the ocean, flicks it off, one drop at a time. Well, you can see how futile this is, right? So she's just losing the will to live, basically, because nothing's happening and the eggs are gone and she doesn't know what's going to happen and she cries out to God for help. Enter Garuda. So the minute that we ask God for help, God comes, really. Divine intervention. So here comes Garuda, lands, and says to the mother sparrow, what's wrong? And she says, my eggs, they're gone. The ocean won't go back. I'm pleading the ocean to go back. Please help me. He says, have you prayed a mantra? Have you prayed your prayers? Have you done your prayers, your japa? We call it japa, which is the repeating of divine name. And she says, no, I've just been doing my self-effort. And he says, well, I'm going to give you a mantra. So he gives her a mantra. And she says, should I still keep doing this nonsense? And he says, yes, keep doing it. Keep doing that. Do your self-effort. You have to. Still do your self-effort, but remember to keep calling out God's name.
Right.
So she does, and she's doing it, and Garuda says, well, my work here is done. So he starts to leave, and as he takes off with his wings and the wind of the wings, he takes the ocean with him. And so there's the eggs. And when, the moral of the story is self-effort plus divine grace equals enlightenment. So what I thought I would do is just, go around and any questions that you might have, any insights that you've gained, anything you'd like to say is relevant for you in your life and in your practice, anything before we do a last chant. But I wanted to have dialogue, now. So it's all you.
Well, what I want to say is that the thing that, one of the things that most was affirmed for me tonight was the importance of my finding a home here because of the inclusiveness. Because especially when you were speaking about Paramahansa Yogananda, and I didn't even think of him in relation to Hinduism, or because I just, like, when I met that knowledge, I just was involved in it, but I didn't have the big picture. And I'm so grateful I can reclaim all the things that affected me and take on new things, and there's no fight. They're like, there's room for all of it, and it's like it goes together, and it's like it's so affirming, because for so many years I thought, I have to find the right one. No, that's not the right, and so now it's just so comforting to me. And of course, I'm very grateful, particularly for the timing of tonight's class, because I feel like so much of the pain or stress or worry or feeling separation lifted, And I had this may be a foolish question, but
There's no foolish questions.
well, it's not an important question maybe, but is is Krishna a male figure?
Yes.
Because the figure that I see kind of looks feminine too.
Yes. Well, all of the gods do. Interestingly, if you look at Ram right now, the only way that I know the difference between if they're male or female is that the females are covered, their breasts are covered, and the males are not. But look at these two. They look like they could work out ellipse.
So Ram is in the middle?
Ram is in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, confused me.
You're right.
Really? Ram, Lakshmana, his brother,
His brother's on the left?
brother's on the left. He has 4 brothers. It's 4 of them altogether.
But the
Which
one,
also there's mystical explanation for that as well.
but the one on the right is a woman.
Yes, that's Sita.
Okay, I see what you mean. And people used to comment on Paramahansa Yogananda's appearance, like, but you know, there's this tremendous sensitivity and gentleness, but also, but I never really saw him as female, but still, you know, in his long hair. And,
Especially the younger pictures.
Swami Jyotirmayananda, when I'm in his presence, when we're in his presence, he's male and female. He's mother and father to me. I mean, he's not completely just male and he's not completely just female to me. I don't see that. I don't see male energy. I see both ends in him.
one other thing I wanted to mention about tonight is I just found so many things so humorous, and I was so grateful to be able to laugh and enjoy myself. And sometimes it's really hard for me. I can get really serious, and you know, so that was like just a gift, and the music and the blessing.
Right. Jananda?
I always love this lecture, and it changes a little, but it's what I need at that moment. So the slide that really impacted me the most this time was the slide where it shows Brahman and then the manifest Brahman. And I realized when we say Paramatman, that we are God manifest. And I understood it like, okay, I'm the ultimate Brahman, but to see it on that vision and go, oh, we're all just manifest Brahman. And though I knew it here, I didn't feel it here, but now I feel it here as well as know it here. So that is really cool. And I think every time, with every one of the electives, because I've been lucky enough to come back to many of them, with every one of them, I get something different each time, and it's what I need at that moment. So I'll be coming for the next 20 some odd years or so.
You might be watching it on YouTube.
Chris?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Every time I come, I get something different out of it, and it's such a great reminder of some of these teachings. And I really loved how you incorporated, how you did the videos of the old, like actual footage from when Rabbi Shankar was educating George and all of that. It's just kind of, and I love the reminder of the lineage part of it. That there's, and the connections, like when we were talking about the connections between seminary and this lineage. It's just it blows my mind how karmically we're all connected, and and I love that, and I feel like this is your bailiwick. You have such a command of the Vedanta, and I'm always impressed. But tonight, just how you have such a grasp of the timeline and the historical. I loved it. It was good to be here again.
Speaking of all the connections and the coincidences, not mystical, divine, auspiciousness of everything, the modern interpretation of Yoga Sutras is done by Swami Satchidananda, who's also the father of Interfaith. So if you get a modern day interpretation, it's going to be Swami Satchidananda, which I think is really cool. But I want to talk about my experience tonight. We have every month we teach so much, and sometimes we sit and the other one teaches or whatever. But I didn't feel like I took a class tonight. I felt like I was in devotion the whole time. I just felt so much love. So much connection, and then I got the card about enhancing your devotion, and that's just how I felt. I felt like I was really spiritually fed through this whole period of time together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I felt like a sacred celebration.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think starting from the card I pulled about laughter, and then how much I laughed, but then also how much, the music always affects me greatly. I think this might be my third or fourth time, and I always get something that I need at the moment, and the timing is so perfect because I really didn't know I was coming here until 12 minutes to 6. for 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So I was really happy. And the story is really also resonated.
Paul?
Well, I really enjoyed it as well, and I didn't know very much about the Vedanta, and I've been wanting to learn more about it, especially about the materialism, and I chose the card about materialism, and I've been searching outside of myself to fix me, and that's not working. You know, the medications, I'm on so many medications, and I'm tapering off of all of them. One of them I'm off already, finally. And I'm working on 3 more, and they're almost done. And I've had less restless leg syndrome for 3 days now, and it's driving me absolutely insane. And I don't know if it's because I'm coming off of the meds or what the deal is, but I'm just trying to find peace within myself, and hopefully I found some of that tonight.
All right, so we're going to end with a blessing song, a blessing chant. We'll chant, and then I have a surprise, surprise song for you at the end. But and that'll be like a dance number that we can do together and get up and dance. But so we say Om. Om is the imperishable Brahman, God. And we ask for God's blessing of peace. We say Shanti, Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We say it 3 times because we're asking for God's peace and blessing of peace in the unknown realm, the realm of fear, where fear resides, where that tomorrow, that next moment place, where a lot of fear sometimes comes. So peace in the future, peace in the unknown realm. The second Shanti is peace in this realm, peace now, in this now moment. And what some of you have expressed that desire for peace within. So Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
So it's time for us to rise up. Rise up.